Hello, I'm Stuart the Wildman Mabber, and my job is about connecting people with nature through their 5 main senses. The objective is to make a tangible difference to the state of nature locally, nationally and internationally. Patreon is being explored to help fund this work, but don't worry too much that it says dollars on the website, because it automatically converts your donation to whatever currency you use. To get people out in nature, enjoying it, caring about it and realising its significance in all our lives is a good step to turning words into actions. From there, people we work with who become more connected with nature are more likely, we hope, to take steps to help protect nature. It may seem altruistic to expect people to make tough decisions in how they live and to protect nature, but it does seem that unless we humans can see it as a financial advantage to live in a more sustainable way environmentally, we don't bother to make any changes. I ask you, are we really that uncaring? We can live better, and I'm convinced we all could do that regardless of cost. I've been in business since 1988 and I was a wildlife gardener for many years. But since 2012 I was getting progressively more and more unwell, and in November 2014 I was diagnosed with aggressive rheumatoid arthritis, and in February 2017 I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I had to diversify myself away from such a physical job as I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't get out of bed and I couldn't even feed myself at times. I discovered a sensory engagement with nature helped me manage my pain, and performing as the wild man or just wearing the hat helps me block out many of the symptoms. My work these days revolves around giving numerous talks, including one about how to attract wildlife into gardens. I write books about wildlife gardening, and I even teach people in their own gardens how to be a wildlife gardener using the gardening by numbers concept. I run nature sensory workshops for individuals, families and groups, and even corporate groups, to show how nature can be used for stress and pain management and even team building, which makes us all more productive. As a wildlife sound recordist, I make and present the independent radio show Going Wild with Wildlife, that is currently transmitted on 9 different internet, community and hospital radio stations. Having been in hospital myself, I'm fully aware of how important a connection with nature is to patient well-being and recovery. That audio can then be repurposed for inclusion on some of the many talking newspapers that are out there. Talking newspapers are audio newspapers produced for people with visual impairments. It would be great to work with this section of the community and connect them with nature, as they are often isolated. I'm also working with another team of people on a project called The People's Countryside, which is an online and TV show. Through that show we want to help nature by interviewing people who work out in nature, and we will make trips to film material for these shows, focusing in the areas around the many radio stations who run our radio show. We will interview people who work out in nature and give them airtime on the TV and on the radio shows, and allow them to ask whatever help they may need, and then we link the viewers and the listeners who may be able to offer that help. On these trips we also plan to document in photographic form the current state of nature in the areas that we visit. This will form an archive of material future conservationists can use and can tap into, so they can make educated decisions of how to manage habitats going forward. If successful with Patreon funding, it will allow me to back off a lot of the physical work that I'm really not able to do very well, but it actually still does pay the bills, and it will open up more time for me to focus on this other, more creative area of my work. That time that has been freed up by the funding hopefully Patreon will provide will help me produce more radio shows, expand the network of stations that actually run the show, and my aim is to produce 6 to 8 new shows which I release each January, and at the moment I'm struggling to find the time to do that because I'm having to do the physical stuff to pay the bills. It'll also allow me to develop and help the talking newspaper movement, and the extra income will also help me take on a personal assistant or even a marketing person to help expand this work out in nature. The long-term aim is to take nature indoors onto the stage, and my aim is by April 2021 is to perform on the main stage at the O2 Arena in London. How I'm going to get there I don't know, but it's a journey that we're on. I also want to work more with the world's seas and oceans. They are protecting us from and absorbing many of the environmentally damaging effects humans have on the world around them. But the seas and the oceans are reaching capacity. Many solutions to the problems we face as a human race are locked away in the seas and oceans, so we need to explore. Thanks for taking the time to listen and to watch this little production. To see more details about my work and my project, check the details below. There are more down there. And also thanks for helping me to continue to make a positive contribution to society, even though my ill health causes many challenges. And thanks for believing in the Wildman and not giving up on the benefits he can have on the world. Thank you very much.